Alright, so alright, first hole 719. So just spot drilling it. I'm just going to go ahead and drill on here. These are just clearance holes for the dowel pins and that are pressed into the hub on the Troyke there. So let's see. That's about full diameter. I'm going to zero my quill. Let me get some Earl curl. So I just want to drill these deep enough that they clear the pins, the length of the pins. I'm going to go in about a ½ inch here. There's 400. $80, $90, $500. Okay, let me go double check those pins. I checked them once before, but I forgot now what they are. Okay, ½ inch is plenty of depth there. While I'm on that hole, I'm going to go ahead and smack a chamfer on it. Sure, why not? Alright, next hole, 622, 359. Okay, looks like it. Good, I bought him the drill. I didn't really. So my depth stop is still good. $400, $670, $80, $95. Okay. So when I measured the holes, to measure the bolt circle, I just measured over the OD of the pins and then reconstructed it geometrically. Since it's a 3-hole pattern, it makes it a little hard to measure the bolt circle accurately. But I measured over the over the outside of the pins like this, right, and made sure that it was the same all the way around. And then from that you can geometrically reconstruct where the right radius that those are on. So. Okay, now what I want to do is, before I get carried away here and whip this out, I want to check a dowel pin in those and make sure that they fit properly. Alright, so you know, regular hardened steel dowel pins are a couple, or 2/10 over, something like that, for a pressed fit. And this is just a drilled hole. I'm not going to ream them or anything. You know, I just want an easy fit, right? And it looks like we're fine. So now I can take this out and try it on the actual part. All right, give it a try. Fits a little different depending on which way you put it on, but it goes on. That's what I care about. Okay, so the last thing on this is we're going to mill, because this rotary, the hand wheel is so large. I need to be able to come from the outside with and reach under there to turn this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mill a hex. Dink, 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 dink. I'm going to mill a hex on this down to about there. And so what I did is, and I did this off camera, I made a little spud here to attach this to make it easy to mill. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the mill and we're going to mill a hex around that part there. Alright, so let's get this tool calibrated here. Well, this isn't a real precision pickup here. I just want, you know, a certain depth of the hex, about a ½ inch. It's going to snag this piece of paper right there. So I'm about 3 mils off of that edge now. So I'm just going to dial in the 3 mils. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to come down on this. Actually, let's do it like this here. I'm just going to come down and touch, and then I'm going to come up a little bit. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and zero that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with the knee here. And I'm just going to fish back and forth until I just get a witness mark. This is actually a pretty sensitive pickup because you're catching the okay, so it's just polishing it right now. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Alright, right there. Hopefully you can see that. It's just polishing that. Okay, so now I got a real good pickup, and I know how deep I got to go. What we're doing is we're putting in a 1.25" hex on the end of this, and so the difference between the two is I'm coming down about 1/4 inch. Now I measured my my 1.25" socket, and it's pretty generous on the clearance, and so what do I want to say about that? I don't know. Let's just mill this thing. Let's get it done. That's what I want. So I'm not going to go in all the way. I'm going to leave a little bit. Let's see. Let's leave 20 thousandths on the wall, the vertical wall. Let's try 30 here. Make sure everything's tight. So that's 90 off of the surface right now. 126. 150. 190. This is 1000 RPM, and this is a 5/8 diameter end mill. It's what is that? 16 millimeters or something. All right, that's 220, 225. 25. Let's go to 240, and then we'll do a finish pass. Okay, so now I'm going to dial in the depth here. Alright, that's 250 on the depth. A little oil for the finish pass. And then I'm going to catch the vertical wall too. Go into my 1/2 inch right there. Okay, and I'm going to feed, it's 1200 now. Okay, now before I forget, I'm going to come back out to my start position. I've never done that before. And just for reference, the edge of this is catching the edge of the vise, so that's my kind of depth or my position stop for the collet block. Okay. All right. Rinse and repeat. All right, last pass. Okay. Looks like a hex to me. Let's do the quick. Okay. Like I said, this thing is super generous. It's like 265 or something, or 260 inside. Oop. Okay, this thing. Okay. Hexagramma. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, that probably works for that, doesn't it? By invert. Oops. Oh, it's 5/16 in there. I made this washer. See, I missed a trick there. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna smack a hole through this plate. We need 1 3/4. This is a 1.5 inch Rotary, an annular cutter, and we're gonna zip this through there. Let me change the camera around a little bit. Make sure I'm at the right numbers. I am. Okay. hole. Let's get this plug out of here. Alright, so that's the leftover, well, that's the what's left after you take that out. So now we're going to get the boring head and we'll open that up to 1 3/4. Alright, so I got the boring head. I'm going to use my little hand wheel this time. Let's try that. Since I'm not kind of normally using one of these. Oh yeah, kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like the hand wheel there. Oop. Gotta remember that how it works there. Totally not used to it. I like it. Okay, so I got about 60 thousandths to go. 20, 40. Okay, let's try that, and then yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that. Okay. I think we're getting pretty close now. All right, let's take a good measurement there. And let's see what we got left. Sorry guys, but I gotta block the camera. I can't, oops. I can't do it with keeping my hand out of the way there. Alright, 1 inch 7/24, so we got about 25 thousandths to go. So let's take about 20 right there. Alright. Get down close, gauge that, and let her rip. I suppose I could drop this thing down too. Okay, 745, okay. And let's see, what is this guy here? I think that's a little under, yeah, 746. We don't need much. Let's, I don't know. Well, it's getting welded together, so let's do, that's 4,000, something like that. Engage. kill myself on that edge of that hole. Okay, good. All right, that's what we want. Now there's no more work. I just got to chamfer that a little bit, and then there's a little bit of work on the rim of the hand wheel. Okay, so I got to drill and tap a hole in the rim of this, but I was also thinking about something else here. This guy gets welded here, and what I'm going to do, I think, just to make my life easier, is I'm just going to cut a little step in the bottom of, or in this rim face here, and what that'll do is that'll locate this, so the thing will be all nice and concentric. Otherwise I have to lay it out really carefully or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll just mill a step that's maybe you know, I don't know, 60 thousandths deep, just a little registration notch to catch the edge of this and position it this way and position it this way, since I already have to drill this hole in the rim for a spinner handle. So I'm already setting it up. So while I'm there, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and mill this little notch, and then when I go to weld it together, I just drop it in that little notch, and bingo, it's spot on concentric. So now we got to hold this thing, right? So what to do? So, you know, if you had a gigantic V or something like that, you could do it that way. But I think I'm gonna go simple. You guys are starting to know me here. I'm gonna go nice and easy here. So I'm just going to put one of my mini pallet plates in there. I'm going to seat that down, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that up on top like that, and then I'm just going to hold it down so I can still sweep the inside with an indicator and get on center, but I'm just going to hold it with some cant twist clamps. It's just, like I said, a drill and tap hole and then some light milling. So I'm not going to get too wound up about it. So we'll just pin this thing down like this. We'll put 4 of these on there just for fun, okay? Alright. So I can still, oops. Alright, so why not, right? Alright, pin those guys down. And should we use a little? I get these bigger ones here. They're not really in my way, so shouldn't be a problem. Oops. I gotta leave the ID clear to. Oh yeah, that's fine. And one more. You could probably do it with two of the big ones, but you know, you'd be mad at yourself if the thing moved, you know, right when you don't want it to. It always moves right when you don't want it to, right? I don't think you ever want it to move. All right, so let's crank this down. Now these, for those of you that haven't used these cant twist clamps, they're pretty bomber. They don't. They hold real well, and they're kind of lower profile. You know, the screw is horizontal as opposed to vertical like a regular C-clamp, so they stay out of your way. All right, so let me sweep that and get on the center of it. All right. Okay, so we're all set up here. First thing, I'm going to cut this little pocket about 60 deep. I'm going to calibrate for Z, or the depth right now. Let me zero that. But first, what I'm going to do is, before I cut it to full depth, since I didn't do any layout work, I'm just going to cut it about 5 thousandths deep I'm gonna walk around the perimeter. Let's see, I don't want to mess up here. Walk around the perimeter so I have a kind of a guideline while I'm whittling away at that. So 1 inch on the X and 265 Y. Okay, we're all secure there. Let's zip our way around that. So it's just a witness mark. So I can see where I belong. Okay, I'll go over here. What's going on over there? Oh no, I thought it might be going out of the frame. That's okay. I'm just hand feeding this. Carbide end mill, 1600 RPM. Oops. A little fast. Okay. So now I got a little outline. So what I'm going to do is I'll whittle it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to take it all in one whack there. 50, 60. All right. Alright, let's get off of that edge a little bit. Oh yeah, we're fine. So I'm just using that edge as a kind of a visual marker. Come up close to it. Okay, and then I'll take out this. That little piece. Well, while I'm here, let's finish it here. Over to across the street. Alright, let's get off of there. Finish. Okay. Let's blow that out of there. Okay, it fits that way. fits that way. Okay, so I'm just going to round these corners a little bit and to match that radius, and then that should just drop right in there. It's not going to drop in right now. And so now before I get all squirrely here, I need to put a hole in it too, so I'll do that. Alright, let's give this thing a try. I belt sanded those corners and tap this hole there. Okay, that's good, no play. And then it goes through like that. So now we got some weld assembly, and we got a pretty spiffy hand wheel. Oh, and then we'll make some kind of twirly gig for the for that hole that I just tapped there. Some kind of rotating handle. Okay, so we're ready for some welding here. I've got it in its registration notch and clamped down, and everything's aligned. I'm just going to put, it doesn't need much welding, so I'm probably just going to weld just around that corner, that little side, so 4 places there. Then I'll do three places on the hub to the plate, and that's probably about it. I mean, this thing doesn't see a lot of force, so and it's, you know, it's in a registration notch too. So let's get that welded up. Going to get some light tacks on the corners here. Middle, right? Ballistic on the welding there, I'm going to put it on the rotary table one more time just to see kind of how it looks, and last check fit before I put the weld on it. Okay. So we're going to make a little spinner that'll fit this shoulder bolt. I don't know if I may use a shorter one. You don't need much. Okay. And yeah. And then I got you know, this, I don't know, I think I'll make a fancy washer for that. Just something that looks good, maybe a brass one or something like that. Yeah, maybe a brass one that's kind of rounded a little bit. That might be nice. Okay, so we're set up here. We're going to make a little kind of a freestyle handle here, rotating handle for the the new hand wheel on the Troyke rotary table. So I'm just going to use this radius bit, and I'm just going to kind of shape this kind of eyeball centric and make something that looks pleasing, and see what happens. See how it behaves first. I'm just kind of gouging out some of the middle section there, and I'm going to change the feed direction and kind of go back the other way, carve out some of that and make a belly in that. Not too bad. That'll clean up with a file. Okay, so we got a low point, and we're gonna round that. What do we want? I think we want to go back the other way. I'm gonna take a little more out and sharpen this so it's gentle, and then come up at this end here. Start right there. Alrighty. Drop my brush. cooking. All right, let's do a little file work and see what we get. All right, let's try a little filing here. I'm not liking this file. I'm gonna go find a different file. Alright, well the general shape looks pretty good. Now we just got to do some smoothing on it. Don't ask me to make two of these. It'd be a hard thing to do. What you would do if you had to make multiples is you'd make a template that had that curve to it, and then you'd just kind of fit it to the template. So you can do that kind of stuff multiples, but not that easy. Alright, so get a different, yet another file, and we'll smooth that out. Alright, so I got a different file. I'm going to put this here just so I can tap my file out and clean it and keep it clean. Alright, we got a little ways to go here. I'm going to work this off camera a little bit. This is a kind of an uncomfortable position here, the way I have to stand. So I'll do a little bit of work and smooth it out, and then we're going to counterbore. We're going to counterbore the end here for Mr. Shoulder Screw. Excuse me, and polish it. Do everything we can possibly do, and then lop it off and call it good. Okay, so I got the shape, got the deep scratches out. I'm going to do a little polishing. I'm going to use a 4.5 inch sander with some Scotch-Brite on it. I don't want any of the grit to get on the lathe, so I clean all the whey oil off so it doesn't stick to it, and then I'm going to cover it with paper, and then I got some tuck this up in there. I got some magnets here to kind of hold it down so it doesn't get sucked into the chuck, the windmill. Okay, so got the paper pinned down. It's well covered, and this is what I'm using right here. It's just a Scotch-Brite on a sander, and I'm just gonna gently go over that and smooth it real nice, and then finish it up. So let's do it. Kind of hot. There's one little scratch down at the bottom that's not going away. I think I'm going to get a new disc. Okay, we got a counterboard, and now we're going to lop it off here. get that little waste off of there, and I think we're done. Alright, let's take this temporary one off. Let's put the real McCoy on. Somebody got lucky. I didn't even measure it there, but it's the same width, so that's luck. Okay. Okay, doesn't look too bad, huh? Cool. My socket fits, so I can drive it. I can drive it from a distance. I can put an extension on there and put something on there. I can turn it from underneath without having to crawl under there. Okay, I've had enough. Calling it quits for tonight.